Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Hey everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach's Reviews. We are back again with another video. Today is another episode of WandaVision. This is episode 9. We only have one more episode left, guys. And boy, oh boy, there was a lot to unravel in this one episode. They're really getting to the point of the finale. I'm super stoked with everything Marvel has been able to achieve with their TV series and stuff, because I'm a big fan of Marvel, from the movies, and I just expected greatness from their TV shows, and I'm just happy that, they're working so well and everything is so great, and this was just a great series. And I mean, I'm just overall happy with everything that's going on. But I am annoyed that, we keep getting those standby things, and the show keeps ending. It makes me keep wanting more. It makes me wish they would have put it all in a big movie, because that would have been awesome, just to watch it all, or have it just be a binging thing. But I understand why they wanted to build the hype. They also wanted to make sure people subscribe to the Disney Plus. They also want to make sure that, spoilers don't happen, which, I really respect them for that. It's the smart move, it's smart marketing, it's smart everything. So they're awesome for that. But it just annoys me when we get to that standby. It just makes me want more and more, as it should. So that's how you know it's good. But in this episode, we find out more about Agatha. We find out that she was a part of a coven, and they found out she was doing black magic. I think they tried taking her magic, but it ended up backfiring because she had black magic, I guess, in herself, and it made her stronger. So when they tried taking her powers, it was like making them die. I think they tried killing her maybe, but she did the reverse thing on them. I don't know exactly what was happening, if they were trying to take it or kill her, but either way, it didn't work. The queen of the coven tried killing her. That didn't go well. She thought since she was the queen, she would be able to stop her. It did not go the way that she thought it was going to go. And then we end up finding that the reason that, she's been behind these little mischief things when Wanda was trying to, have her perfect reality in Westview, Agatha made a nest there, which is why we see all the hexagons, which is why, we see, the beekeeper, how it turned into a beekeeper and all that stuff, is because it's because of the fact that that's her hive, that's her home, that's Agatha's home. When Wanda came into Westview, Agatha was already there, hence why we didn't have a file on her on the wall, because we didn't know anything about her, and because, there was no file on her, because she was, born in the time of, when, witches and, all that stuff, back in the olden days. So the fact of it is that she wants to, the whole point of why she's doing all this is she wants to find out how Wanda was strong enough to recreate reality in Westview. And literally when, she threatens Wanda, saying, you're not getting your kids back until, you help me, figure out how the heck you got your power, because I think she wants to extend her power or find out why she's able to do this, because she wants that power. I have a feeling it's just she's power hungry, hence why she went to the black magic, and the black magic was calling Agatha back in the olden day. So, we go to different points of Wanda's life to see, because Agatha wants to see what started her powers, how did this all happen, because she's sick and tired of Wanda not remembering how everything came to be. Because, there's little things where, people keep asking her how this all happened. Pietro asked, she didn't even, talk to him about that. We ended up finding out that wasn't really Pietro. That was a necromancy she tried doing, it was necromancy. So she tried faking, Pietro, and, she's like, I'm shocked you believed that, even though it wasn't your brother, but you wanted to believe it. So, and it was kind of hard to bring your other brother back because he's on a different continent, and on top of that, he has holes in his body. So, the fact of it is that she wanted to believe that was Pietro, but when Pietro was acting the way he was acting, she knew. She knew in her heart that that wasn't him. And I do love the fact where, there's we just see in every episode, they keep asking her, oh, how'd this happen, or how'd this happen, because she wants to know, and she always shows up. And then she leaves, and then they ask the questions, or something always happens, and they keep asking, because literally, it's cool that, there was little key Easter eggs to find out, she was behind everything. And from the beginning, I knew she was sus. I said this in my past videos. I knew she was somewhat a villain in a way. And I'm happy that my theory was right on that. A lot of people's theories were right about Agatha. And I'm thinking there's more to it. I feel like this isn't just her. I feel like there's other things going on in a way, and I hope they explain that. So, because there's a lot more to understand of what's happening. I'm wondering where Monica went, because the last time we saw her in the last episode, she got, seen by the fake Pietro. So I'm wondering, where did she go? So I'm wondering if she's gonna help out in the end, because as it all builds up, we end up getting to the point where we get to different points of Wanda's life. We get one point, when she's in Sokovia, she's a little kid with her parents, and we understand finally, we realize why she picks the segments of how comedies were on television back in the day, how like sitcoms. We understand why she picks those ideas, why she picks the way they are. It's because her mom is a big fan, and she was a big fan of I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke, all these shows, and that's why she chooses that format when she takes over Westview, and shapes reality. So I love how they show that. So it's Pietro, her mom or dad, and Wanda. And it's so cool because the cutscenes were cool because she said, oh, Wanda, Agatha said, Wanda, it's your cue, and then it turns, and she was a kid to go into that situation. And I thought that was cool. I thought the camera work was awesome. The CGI, of course, is top notch. And I love the part when we see the bomb finally hit down, and we see them fly forward, and we get to the moment where it says Stark. It says the Stark bomb, and Wanda and Pietro underneath the bed, and she reaches out, and it's almost like she stops it. And even Agatha's like, "How long are you underneath that bed? And did you stop that bomb?" And she's like, "No, me and Pietro didn't know at the time, but that was a faulty bomb, and that's why it didn't blow up." And she in her head, she's like, "No, I think you stopped it." And she's kind of putting it together, the pieces are almost together. Let's keep going. And she opens another door, and this door leads to Strucker's experiments. It leads right there, and we end up seeing Wanda about to walk into a room where the Loki scepter is. And they even say, "Oh, state your name and state why you're and why you're here." And she said, "I'm Wanda Maximoff, and I'm a volunteer." And right when we get to the moment, they're like, the guy's like, "I don't know if we can do this because no one survived this." And he stops the thing so she can't hear it, and then they start the thing. But in a way, I don't think when they started the trials, I think they activated maybe the scepter, but the stone came out of the scepter. And I'm thinking, I don't know if maybe it was her. Maybe since they activated the staff, I guess the thing came out. I don't know if they activated it. They made it so it could do that. But either way, she tries reaching out. It explodes yellow. And we see the Mind Stone. And we see a vision almost of her, of her as the Scarlet Witch. It's the shape of her. It's the Scarlet Witch. So what I'm thinking is that maybe this activated her natural gene of, her powers were already happening, her witchcraft powers. But I guess, since she didn't do any training to know that she had the witch line in her, this really activated, her powers. Because she might have had them, but she didn't know how to use them. So that might have activated the Scarlet Witch in her and made it stronger. So apparently, there is a legend, which is the Scarlet Witch, and she is. So I love how Vision Stone, it showed her a vision, her turning into the Scarlet Witch. So I love that. It's kind of like a foreshadowing of when I think remember Thor saw a vision, or remember Iron Man saw a vision, a suit of armor around the world. It's a really callback to people seeing stuff from the stone. They see. Because remember, he saw a vision when he held Loki's scepter of everybody dying, and he wanted the suit of armor around the world to protect it. So it's almost like that stone shows you your vision. It shows you what's going to happen. That showed that she was going to become the Scarlet Witch, and I love that foreshadowing. It's so good. They're so good at connecting things, and I love seeing how she got her powers. I love seeing that moment with how Pietro and Wanda were talking about in Age of Ultron, of them being underneath the bed and the Stark missile. I love that. I love seeing that stuff. It's the little things that they mention that we just want to see. How I wouldn't mind seeing Tom Holland's Peter Parker losing Uncle Ben. It's the little things that we don't know that we want him until we want him. And I would love to see Tom Holland be in that moment. How he first got his powers as Spider-Bite. I mean, that's one person I would love to see happen because he does it so well. And it's the little things that, just Marvel makes us really want. And that's just so good. And it makes me so happy that Kevin Feige is just the GOAT. And he just, he keeps making great things. So, when we get to that point where, she's in the room with the Mind Stone and it explodes. from their end, they say they come in after it explodes and they're like, oh, she's stable, she's still alive. They put her in a room and they're like monitoring her and she's watching sitcoms. And the thing that I love the most is they try rewatching the video, but every time they start up the process, it just blanks out. It just like the footage is lost. So which makes me think either like the energy did something to the cameras, or maybe she knew about their abilities a little bit and she turned off the cameras when it happened. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but I love how it kind of like cut out. I'm thinking because it's the energy that it emitted, it just cut out that footage and stuff. So that was a little bit cool how it kind of like blinded them out to see exactly what happened. They don't know what happened. And I mean, I'm a little bit upset that they didn't show Aaron Taylor Johnson at one point when they were working on them and experimenting on them, because it would have been cool to see how Quicksilver got his powers. Like that would have been cool to see how like Wanda got her powers. But as we know, she's always had powers. But I guess I don't know if they've ever been activated or not, or not, or she knew a little bit about them. I'm curious. Probably not, because she was shocked when Agatha pretty much told her that you've always had powers. This just extended them. So I'm thinking she didn't know, but the Scarlet Witch was always in her bloodline, I guess, of being, a witch. So I think that's just awesome. It makes Wanda, I'm just happy. It's like she was like special even before she she wanted to get her powers. She was always had powers. So I love how they're going with that. It's like, she really wanted to help people. She really wanted to, change the world, but she's always had that power in her. And it just extended out even more when, she got, volunteer for Stryker's experiment. So I'm just, she's such a strong, powerful character. And it was even before the Infinity Stone that she was, like, strong and powerful. But it just broadened out that power of the Scarlet Witch. And I love that. It just made her even more strong. So I'm just overall happy with this episode. It really shows us the lore of, like, more about Wanda's past, and I love that. It shows a little bit more of a lore about, Agatha, and I'm just excited to see how all this is going to play out in the next episode, because we see right when we get to the final door, which was that, we end up going, well, actually, no, that's not the final door. We end up going through 2 more doors, and the next door we go to is her at the Avengers compound, and this is after Age of Ultron, where that's her new home, and Wanda explains that I had nobody, I just lost Pietro, and I was in a sad place, and of course Vision is there to comfort her, and they're watching sitcoms, and he's really connecting with her, and I feel like that's where they start their bond, because we see their bond, and that explains how they had such a great bond in Civil War, because that takes place after Age of Ultron. So in that time period from Age of Ultron to Civil War, we see that all build up, and I'm happy that at least we saw that. We saw a little bit of that. It explains why they made such a connection. And it just, Marvel's so good at those things that, like, they give us the moments that we don't even think we want, but we're happy we got. So, they're just the best. So I'm just happy we got to see her in the Avengers compound, and her saying, oh, like, when Agatha was like, where are we? And she's like, the Avengers compound. It just made me so happy to just be back there, because we know what happens to the compounds at some point, which, it's a sad thing. And it explains also when we get to the next door, before we get there, she's like, so that's weird. You lost your brother, you lost, you lost your parents, you lost your brother, you lost Vision. So then what happened? Like what happened since he wasn't there to pull you back from the darkness, from the sadness? Like, what happened? She didn't want to see what happened. And then they open the next door. It's the sword door, and it shows her going in. And we think it's going to be the moment where we saw on the footage that Hayward showed, Jimmy Woo, Darcy, and, Monica, of her breaking into the facility. But it's almost like she wanted Vision's body back, but only to bury it. She didn't want to bring him back. She knew she couldn't bring him back. But it's weird because Hayward knew that was able to bring him back, which is a little bit sus. So I'm thinking either something's up with this dude. I don't know if he is the devil that people are spectating, that, people are like theorizing that he is the devil. I don't know. Or if he just wants power. I don't know the dude's deal. But all I know is that, she wanted to go see Vision's body, and they wouldn't let her in. But Hayward, I guess, called down to the front desk because he saw her there. She got buzzed in, and the guy told her where to go. It was Hayward's office, and he pretty much showed her right where Vision's body was. And she didn't know what she was looking at, but then she realized, they took him apart. And she's like, you need to stop doing this. He's, he, like I am his, like, second, like, person that when he dies, like I was on his, will, like I want to bury him. He deserves that. And they're like, we're not going to let you bury like the strongest weapon of vibranium ever. Like you can bring him back. And she's like, I can't do that. And literally he's like, okay, literally he's like, then you're not doing that. You could say goodbye to him here, but you're not taking him to bury him. All that vibranium, like you're not doing it. So she just gets so angry seeing him taking apart and what they're doing. So she goes down there and pretty much says her goodbye. And then she leaves the compound, and that's not what we're expecting because that's not what we saw from the films. But he must have dockered them. He must have like changed the footage to make it look like she took Vision, because I think he's an evil dude, and I think he was willing to do anything to activate Vision. So I think he was trying to really press her a lot, because we end up seeing how she goes to Westview, and that was where they were going to build their home. Her and Vision. I'm assuming that, like, I guess during Infinity War, maybe they picked that place, or maybe I don't even know exactly, but I think it might have been, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe sometime in Infinity War when they were like, on the run doing all this, maybe they wanted to go to Westview because they knew it was like a small town no one would know, and I'm assuming that's what they were doing, and then they picked out the place and where they wanted to build their house. Or maybe, she came back and, she thought maybe she could get Vision's body, put them to rest maybe, and then maybe just have a home, or I don't know, but it said their home, so I'm thinking they had that in the works planned about them, growing old together in that place when they were in Infinity War all that time together. So it's very sad, and that shows at that moment she's just so sad that she just emits her powers, and they're so strong. And I'm telling you, it's all that time from, her powers building when she was a little girl and she didn't know she had powers, to Strucker's experiment, opening her powers, but also giving her powers from the Infinity Stone, and also her being, in the Mind Stone, in the Soul Stone all that time where everybody was when they disappeared, on top of her coming back, all that power is just there. And right when she was just so sad and angry and just went like that and just admitted all of her power, if she would have did that to Thanos, just did that, dude would have been wrecked. He would have been wrecked. He would have disintegrated. I'm telling you. I don't think at that moment, that was her, one moment, she was just angry. It all built up, all that sadness. But, she was angry before, but no, she was angry then after seeing how they took Vision's body apart, because literally she had to see him die twice and pretty much see him again being torn apart again, a third time. So she was angry, heartbroken. And she had a life planned with Vision, and she just couldn't take it. So she built that world of pure just sadness and anger, and that's how she was able to build it. And I guess, all that anger and sadness, I guess she was kind of she wanted to be oblivious from that side because she knew it was wrong, but she turned off that side of her brain to make it, to even think if that was right or not. That's why she couldn't remember those little things, is because she kind of turned off that side to be like, okay, I know this isn't right, but I'm going to say this is right. I deserve a win. So I love how they show that. That's why she wasn't able to remember things, is because she just didn't want to see that side of, knowing she wasn't doing the right thing, of making everybody hostage and doing all these little things. But in a way, she kind of made that place a lot more happier, because that when she rolled into Westview, it looked like a sad, depressed town. So I mean, it looked a lot more livelihood when when she made it her own. So I mean, in a way, she kind of made people's lives look like a little bit happier, but in a way they weren't technically, because they were literally in the sunken place. So literally, I feel bad for them, because we see when you wake them up from the trance how they're not happy, they're angry, so they're in the sunken place until they get snapped out of it. So all I know is that at the end of when we find out when she does that, Wanda runs out to the next door, and then she sees her kids in the street because she hears them, and of course Agatha has them, has energy wrapped around their necks about to kill them, and she's like, I can't believe you don't know what you are. I thought it was just a legend, and you're the Scarlet Witch, you're the person that can bring people back to life, you have so much power and you don't even realize it. And it's like that, it strengthened her power even more, because you're a legendary witch that you did not know you were, on top of you got literally the Mind Stone powers, bro. You just got super juiced up. So Agatha's jealous. I think it all comes down to it. How Agatha wanted power. She wanted all this. And I feel like she feels angry that, Wanda got all that power, and, she just feels like, I feel like in a way she's like, oh, you wasted it all on like making breakfast and doing all that when you had all that power. You could bring people back to life. You could do all this, blah, 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 blah. So I think it all comes down to jealousy, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen because it just cut off after that. So I'm thinking, I'm kind of putting things together as we go, because literally from what we've seen from the trailers and teasers, we see there's a moment where Vision says to Wanda, because Vision's gonna, because we saw him flying off when Darcy got stuck in the traffic. So we're gonna see a moment where Vision flies in, probably stops that from happening, and then she's gonna probably run off Agatha, and then there's gonna be a moment where we see in the trailer when Vision's like, Wanda's like, this is our home. And Vision's like, let's fight for it. So there's going to be, of course, a moment where they're probably fighting Agatha. And I'm wondering what Monica's going to do. I'm wondering where she is. I'm wondering where imposter Pietro put her. I'm just curious to know if she's going to help in the fight. Or I don't know, or maybe Vision's going to be busy with the end credit scene, which we end up finding out that Hayward activated Vision's body with the power of the drone that, Wanda gave back to them. So he got what he wanted, but my brother has said something like, oh my God, this might be the start of Ultron again, because I was like, you're totally right, probably. Because think about it, Vision's mind, Vision's, everything that was made about him had so many different counterparts. It had, a little bit of Ultron, it had a little bit, it had Jarvis, it had Tony, it had Bruce, it had all of them in there. And I mean, when you take away the good parts, you get Ultron. And it looked like, to be honest, it looked like Ultron, literally. It looked like the dude was evil. It was all pale. Bro, it looks evil. It looks like Ultron. And I swear to God, because there were speculations that Ultron he could be coming back. And this would be a great way if he came back. That'd be a pretty cool way. But I'm thinking to myself, that's not much of a challenge, I feel like, for Wanda, because Wanda literally, as we know, can, ruin vibranium and do all this stuff, as far as we know, I think. Because, Ultron, I think, at one point was made out of vibranium when she ripped the heart out, I'm pretty sure. Because I don't think Ultron would use vibranium for his mini robots, but not use vibranium for himself. So, as we all know, Ultron was vibranium, and she was able to take that heart out of him. So, she could easily kill that, fake Vision if it is Ultron, or if it's, the Vision that they brought back to life. But but I feel like that's what it would be, is Ultron. So I don't know what that Hayward, I don't think he knows what he's getting into, if that is a part of Ultron that's still in there in his wiring, in the what do you call it, in the DNA, pretty much, bro. So I don't know, that's tough to see, but we'll see in the next episode if Vision will be busy with him, and and then Wanda will be taking on Agnes, maybe with Monica. Or I'm thinking what would be cool is if Monica gets, captured or taken and she can't be in the fight with Wanda, I'm kind of hoping there will be a moment where, Doctor Strange comes in and helps or something like that. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think there's going to be a moment where Wanda really comes to terms with, I know this is wrong, I know this is what Vision would want, and she's going to just fight Agatha on her own, because she is, if you can't build up, this whole, oh my God, you're the Scarlet Witch, a legendary, powerful being, and not be able to beat Agatha. But they really showed Agatha is not an easy person to take down from the beginning, because her coven tried taking her down, the queen of the coven tried taking her down, and it just wouldn't take. So it makes sense they were building up to saying, she's strong too. So, it makes sense that they would fight on their own. Well, Vision wanted to help Wanda fight, but he's going to be busy with, bad Vision, with his, bad Ultron is what I'm thinking. That's me and my brother's theory. It could be bad Ultron, not just bad Vision. But all I know is that, I really want to know what your guys' theories are about, the next episode, what's going to happen. I think Doctor Strange's got to pop up at some point, either an end credit or something. He's popping up. I know it. But I want to know what you guys think, what your theories are for the end credit, what your theories are for the next episode. And just overall, I want to know what you guys thought about, WandaVision. One more episode left. I think overall, for me talking about this from my episode-by-episode reviews, I'm going to say that this was the best season of a show ever. And this is only the beginning of what Marvel's capable of. We get Falcon and Winter Soldier March 22nd, I think. And then, we get Loki soon and all that. So this is just the beginning of what they're able to do from TV series and stuff. So I'm thrilled with what's happening, with what they're doing, because, we got She-Hulk, we got, I think we also got Miss Marvel, so we have so many things, and I'm just so excited. So I really want to know what you guys think about this series. I want to know what you guys thought about this episode. I want to know what your theories are for the next episode, and just overall what you guys think of just about everything. So let me know in the comments below. If you're new to my channel, subscribe to my channel, put on those notifications, like this video that shows that you guys like my content. Because, you know, a little bit about my channel is, you know, I started my channel to spread love and positivity, and just and I wanted to start this channel just you know, just to motivate people, you know, to follow their dreams, because, you know, life is short. You know, I'm following my dreams finally. You know, I just got up one day and said, you know what, you know, no one's holding me back. Let me just go do this. No one's standing in my way anymore. Let's just get and just let me follow my dreams. I'm doing it right now. I would love for you guys to, you know, come on this journey with me of following my dreams, and let me help you follow your dreams, and let's just all have a fun time talking about pop culture and cinema, because that's another reason why I started this, just to spread my love for pop culture and cinema, and just talk to you guys and have a great time, and just, you know, all have laughs and all, like, talk about things we love. But, you know, another thing about things we love, I have merch on my Etsy store in the description of a whole bunch of shows that, you know, that I love, whether it be Flash, whether it be Riverdale, All American, WandaVision. I'm gonna be making a Falcon and Winter Soldier shirt soon. I want to make a Superman and Lois shirt, because I'm a Marvel and DC fan, but I'm a DC fan of everything that, you know, Zack Snyder is doing and all the stuff I'm just not a fan of that, because that's not the DC I like. I like, you know, the Batman Begins stuff. I like the Superman and Lois stuff. I'm a big Superman Returns fan. The only close to Superman that I've really felt have done justice is Superman and Lois so far, and Superman Returns. Those are the only the only thing of, you know, Batman is, you know, the Christopher Nolan Batman. Like, that's the only thing I felt close to Batman of, like, comic accuracy. But other than that, you know, I'm a big fan of both, but I'm a bigger fan of Marvel because, you know, they've really earned my, you know, my respect and my trust. Unlike, you know, where DC's going, but, you know, people have their opinions, but that's just my opinion. But go check those shirts out. Again, they're on my Etsy store. They're really awesome shirts, you know. And if you do end up getting a shirt, go follow me on my Instagram. You know, tag me in it, because I really want to know that, you know, you guys got a shirt. And, you know, it's just so cool because, you know, I put a lot of love into those designs of, you know, the way I created them. And that was my way of saying thank you guys for the 211, you know, subs. I'm really grateful. You guys are the best. You guys give me so much. You guys are just so nice in the comments. You guys are just amazing. You guys motivate me to just keep doing my all, and, you know, keep giving it my best, keep dropping these videos for you guys as quick as I can. And just, you know, but I'm going to end this video for you guys. But I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. I'll see you guys next Friday for the finale. Peace.